how to fix your outreach. Now, there isn't a day that goes by that myself and my team aren't helping coaches inside our program with their DM mastery. This is what we like to call it inside the program. You see, as an online coach, whilst there are multiple ways of marketing a coaching business, it's key that you engage with your customers. And when it comes to DM mastery, the world of direct messaging is getting busier and busier with more online coaches. And the systems and conversations that you may have been having 6 months ago, they're more than likely not working today. In fact, I hear from coaches so frequently who are sending messages and getting no replies. Getting replies and it just falls dead after a couple of messages. But you're not studying the skill set and the phases of direct message mastery. So as I go through each one, I want you to think, with each phase that I talk about, are you doing what I'm talking about? Are you addressing each part? You see, coaches will tell me it just doesn't work, as in outreach is one complete thing. If you're training a client and you're trying to get a result with your client and something could be wrong in the gym, their training, their effort, something could be wrong with what they're doing at the weekends, something could be wrong with the nutritional strategy you're using in the week. There are multiple things to look at. So for a coach to be able to say, well, my outreach doesn't work, it just means that you're seeing outreach as an absolute. Now, there are 6 stages that I see with outreach. One is the initial message that is sent. Now, that could be a cold message to somebody that doesn't know you. It could be an initial engaging message of somebody who follows you. There's multiple different things. It could be somebody who's in your stories, but it's the initial message that's sent. Then there is the rapport phase. Then there is the discovery, or as I also like to call it, the conversation phase. There is the proposal, the booked call, and then I add the final one in, which I call the follow-up. Now, the follow-up can happen at multiple different stages through the process. But number one, to fix your outreach, you need to be tracking how many messages you send, which I call level 1. Then you need to track the replies that you get to that message. So on your tracker, which you must have, to fix your outreach, you need to have level 1 message, then level 2 being the first reply. Then the next thing you need to track is calls proposed. Then the next thing you need to track is how many booked calls as a result of proposing the calls. Now, of course, you want to put signups next to that if you've got signups from the calls. But there's 4 key areas that I want to track. It's the level 1 message, it's the level 2 reply, it's the proposed calls, and then it is the booked calls, the number of booked calls. Now, if you're not tracking any of this, then you can say goodbye to outreach working effectively for you. Now, I look at the messages that we send, and I'm looking for a 30% response rate to the first messages sent. So if you send 100 messages, I'm looking for 30 to 40 is a great number, 30%, 30 of replies to that first message, because it's understandable that not everybody is going to respond to your opening message. Now, if your opening message is, hi, thanks for the follow, then it'll probably end up being 1% because you give no one any reason to reply. Now, if on the other hand, you say something such as, hi, thanks for the follow, just curious, are you here for any specific fitness advice or just for the content? Then you almost guaranteed a response from 30% of people. Why? Because you're offering an opportunity for some advice. You're offering an opportunity of ease for somebody to reply. When I teach level 1 messaging, you have to understand psychology. If you're requiring a lot of people's time to reply, they won't reply. If you are creating a closed question, which gives people no reason to reply, they won't reply. Hi, thanks for the following. How are you? Hi, thanks for the follow. Out of curiosity, did you follow me for any specific advice? Well, if they think that they're going to get some advice, there's a good, strong chance that they may reply and say, I'm actually looking for this. So understand that you can fix the level 1 message and your job is to get to 30% of replies. Now, the phase 2 is the rapport. As AI develops, as people are just outsourcing their DMs, coaches are getting the most, or clients, prospects are getting the most random messages. They've got no emotion, no heart, no relatability. And so people feel they're just getting a bot back. If someone says, well, I'm following you for some fitness advice because I'm getting married, don't think, oh, I'm going to ignore the marriage part and just go into the discovery phase and finding out more about them. I want to say, fantastic. Where are you getting married? Now, I don't go on to rapport where I spend the next 10 minutes chatting about what country, what they're going to be wearing, how many guests are coming, but I just make sure that they feel they're talking to somebody who actually cares. Just wanted to stop the video for 2 seconds. Now, if you find my content helpful and you want to learn more from me, you want access to resources, you want more free trainings and live weekly webinars, then make sure you click the link in the description. Make sure you head over to my Impact and Integrity free Facebook group. Now, let's get on with the video. From the rapport phase, it's only short, I go into what's called the discovery phase. Now, this is a really important part of the process. As I always say, you need to question somebody in the DMs and to lead it into a conversation. But the discovery is purposeful. To fix your DMs in the discovery phase, you have to ask questions that lead people to give you the information that would help you understand whether somebody is a pre-qualified lead, whether you can actually help them. Because if you understand sales and closing, the ultimate objective of a call is to see whether you can help somebody and then connect the dots with how you can help them with a specific problem. So you would say, I'm just curious to know, what are you trying to achieve with your training right now? If we've had the rapport phase and we built it on from the initial message, what are you specifically trying to achieve? And they're like, well, I'm trying to achieve this. Then we want to say, well, where are you currently right now? So I have the discovery phase, which is where they want to get to, where they are right now, what they're currently trying to do to get to where they want to be, and what they feel that they're struggling with. To fix your messaging, you can't just say, what are you working towards? I want to lose weight. Great. Do you want to jump on a call? Because there's no way that that person's going to see any reason to connect with you, to book a call, because they'll just sniff sales. DM outreach for me in 2024 has got to be more meaningful. You need to ask deeper questions. You need to genuinely show an interest in people. And if that means that the conversation goes over 1 to 2 days, it doesn't matter. I've had conversations that go over a week. I'm not going to push a conversation just to get to proposal. So then I have a follow-up process. Now everything's documented as to who I'm speaking to, where they are on the pipeline, where they are on their customer journey. Because in a gym as a personal trainer, you wouldn't sell to somebody on day 1. You'd just keep seeing them on day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You build relationships. And the DMs are no different. If somebody looks like I can actually get them on a proposed call pretty early doors, I will. If not, I bide my time, which is why I need to find out where they are, where they're trying to get to, what they have currently doing to get to where they want to get to, if it's working, and what they feel that they're struggling with the most. Now, if I find that I'm at that stage, this is where a lot of coaches screw up. When you get to the proposal, you're like, well, I found out where they are, where they want to get to. I've clearly know that they've got a problem. So the next thing I'm going to say is this: why don't we jump on a call and I'll tell you how I work, or I'll show you how I can help you. Well, immediately that person sniffs sales. But if they've said, I'm trying to get to here, I'm here right now, this is what I've tried to do, it's clearly not working, but this is what I feel I'm struggling with the most, I might say, have you considered having some help? I will be able to share some valuable advice for you. And they're like, really? Like what? Now, here's the proposal. I don't then say, well, let's jump on a call and I'll sell my program to you, essentially. What I would do is say, well, considering everything that we've discussed, there's a lot of things I could help you with, but so that I can understand a little bit more about your situation, why don't we jump on a call? I will go through what you're currently doing and where you're trying to get to in more detail, and I will make some suggestions. How does that suit you? They turn around and they go, well, they've offered to help me. That's the whole reason you're having a sales call. Now, for me to fix my outreach, and this works incredibly well, I stop and I look at, well, what percentage of book calls am I getting from the amount of conversations I'm having? I would say it'd be between 3 to 5%. So if you're sending 100 messages, you could get 3 to 4, or even 5 messages or 5 book calls per day from 100 messages. Well, that's crazy. Well, have you tracked your outreach so far? Have you written down the 4 phases? Are you achieving 30% conversion? Because if you're getting 10% conversion, you won't get any book calls. You have to get to the point where your initial message gets 30% opens and replies. And then you can lead that through the discovery, the proposal, and the book call. And that's where you can get 3 to 5%. Is it possible? 110%. What limits that? Well, the brand online, your results online, your confidence, your conviction. You know, a lot of people are sending 80, 90, 100 messages a day and hearing crickets. Well, you're hearing crickets because you're sending messages to people that don't even know who you are. That is a challenge for a lot of coaches, which is why inside our coaching program, we spend a lot of time building your coaching brand online so that when somebody receives a message, they're really inspired to hear from you. So when we actually get to the book call phase, we are working towards 3 to 5% of those people actually booking a call. Now, from the proposal to the book call, you might be proposing 5 or 6 calls and realizing that only one person's booking in. Why is that? Because you're making a proposal to somebody that sounds like you're telling them that you want to show them your coaching program. If you make a proposal like I just said, where you actually say, based on everything we've discussed, there's a lot that I will be able to help you with, but let me delve into it a little bit more detail. We can jump on a call and then I can share my advice with you there. That level of value means that you're there to help. And when you get on a call, you just go through a normal sales call, you identify where they are, what their problems are, what their challenges are, and then you connect the dots with how you can help them specifically with inside your program. People are not going to get on a call if they feel they're going to be sold to, but they'll get on a call if they're going to be helped. Now, one important thing here to understand is if somebody comes on a call and they feel like they're actually going to be helped, that means that you have done your work prior to this. Now, a lot of people say to me, but I don't want to propose a call to anybody. You wouldn't propose a call without doing the discovery phase to actually understand categorically, is this person a good fit for me? So if you went through the discovery phase and said, what are you working towards? And they said, lose fat. And you go, why don't we jump on a call? I can help you. You haven't helped yourself because 1, that person probably won't turn up on a call, but 2, you don't understand enough about them to know if they would be a good fit to work with you. So the whole point of the discovery is to find out if they are actually a good fit. That's why you make the proposal, because you know you can help them. And it's at that point that you end up getting a call. Now, this is not an easy process. I'm not going to lie. DM outreach, people think, well, it's just messaging. It's not messaging. It's the skill of human communication. It's actually part of the closing process. Now, I spend 4 sessions a week, 30 minutes to an hour with our team per week, working on the skills and assessing and tracking and measuring what they're actually doing and seeing whether they can improve. So you can fix your outreach by tracking your data, by understanding the 6 stages of the process and actually mastering each stage so that you are getting 30% response on message 1 and you are getting 3 to 5% conversion from a proposed call and getting book calls from the initial message that you send. DM mastery is a skill to learn. It's a skill we teach every single day. It's a skill that we're very, very good at and very good at teaching. Even when it gets to the stage when you're scaling your business beyond 10K months, you're going to hire somebody into your business. You'll never hire somebody that is complete because they don't understand your brand. So therefore, you have to be good at this to be able to teach it to your coaches. They're the setters that end up working for you. Now, if this has been of value to you, if you actually do want our help, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link in the description. If you want more information and you're listening to this on iTunes, then you can click the link in the bio on my Instagram to find out all the information about how we can help you to get to where you want to be, to master this essential skill and actually start getting booked calls from your DMs. As always, click like and click subscribe if you're watching this episode. If you're listening to this episode, please share it. Help more fitness professionals, online coaches to build their business, exceed their expectations and live life on their own terms. For now, take care and I'll speak to you soon.